but for sure he's the individual that we know that stood out in a manner with the rule of the Aten. And so he's a very key individual in the ancient Kemetic history. And he's also seen with the ark of, well, with an ark. And again, the arks that we are all describing now, the dimensions similar to Ark of the Covenant, height, length, everything very similar to the Ark of the Covenant. We have already seen the Ark of Tutankhamun. We done see Akhenaten with his ark. We've seen the Ark of Anpu. And again, we've spoken of other arks outside of the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark of Noah and the ark that Moses was put in. So we're growing here with an understanding of what this ark thing is about. And remember, we already showed you the ark in geometry, geology, and electricity, which is to me the main point, and time and sound and space as well. The ark. All right. So let us look here now, womaninthebible.net. And this here, very important now, family. This is the remains of the great temple of Palmyra, yeah, that's how it's pronounced there. Ancient city there. Though this particular temple was looted hundreds of years ago, its most sacred object would have been kept in the now open niche above at the rear of the temple, Sila. The same was done with the Ark of the Covenant in Jerusalem. So they're highlighting here, and this is very important, they're highlighting here, and I want the family to check this, that there's a similarity here with the Holy of Holies, really, that you would see in ancient Egypt. So look at it going. Egypt, pardon me, in Jerusalem, where the Ark of Solomon's temple was built. This is the floor plan of Solomon's temple. You have the porch, and you have the holies of holies where the ark will be placed. I want you to keep this in mind. In fact, we'll come back to this because I have some other point related to this that I want to make. But in Palmyra, there's the remains of the great temple now at Palmyra, pardon me, and it is showing you something similar to how the Temple of Solomon. Remember, the Temple of Solomon now, this is very important, is the structure that was built to accommodate the ark. Remember, we're dealing with some philosophy here and some esoteric science, so all of this will have a meaning before we leave here tonight. All of this historical stuff, and it's good that we are some of us at least are growing in knowledge even within the last hour as it relates to the ark stuff. Maybe some of us listening may be saying, hey, I never even knew they had an ark of Tutankhamun. I didn't know Anubis had an ark. I didn't know this had an ark, that had an ark. So we are growing in knowledge. But all of this ark talk, is going to, a moral of the story is there. We're going to climax into that moral before we leave here, because that is really why we are here. So again, coming back to that, we have already expressed that the concept of the ark, look at this here. This is an ancient Kemetic hieroglyph, which I must say was before the understanding of the Ark of the Covenant. And that's another thing you got to keep in mind, my family, that where you see the ark being expressed here, it is actually before the timing of what we call the Ark of the Covenant. Some of them even before Noah's flood. I'm telling you the truth, All right, now this is a typical example of the ark being carried, just like you would imagine in the story and with the staves, exact same thing. But now you see what you're looking at here. You see now a bark. Here is the bark of rock. And it looks like there's an ark on the bark and like another bark on the ark with an ark in the bark. Now, also remember on the Ark of the Covenant, there's supposed to be two angels, cherubims really. I know these look like vultures, but they're supposed to have their wings stretched out before each other. Now again, you already comprehend that we're dealing with the science of the bark, because what the bark is in ancient Kemet, it's the science of taking you through into the underworld and bringing you back through via resurrection and reincarnation. That's the science of the bark. That's why all the kings would go on their bark and meet Ra. All right. So if you look at this again, and we come right back to where we were at the beginning with Noah's Ark. You see how they draw Noah's Ark with the one little house on the top is the same way as the bark. Because in the story of Noah's Ark is one window they had for real. One window. It's right there in the Bible. And build a window. And he tell him which side to build the window onto. One window. All them animals there. One window. Wow. And we don't even get into what the animals would eat, and you know what I mean, how much bathroom in the boat. And none of them giraffe neck out there. Yeah, so the point is now, again, so you can see the bark, even more than that. You know, you could see the Noah's bark or the Noah's Ark. You could see the similarity even with the ancient Kemetic bark of Ra. Look it right there, and the Ark. All right. Now, as I said, it is just proof to show that we definitely had that ancient concept from time immemorial. All right. Now, this is the temple at Karnak. And the way that the temple at Karnak is designed, look at it good. This is the temple of the great king Ramesses II. Now, the mystery with this temple here is that its alignment is aligned with the dates in February and October, February 20, 21st, 22nd, October around the same, 20, 21st, 22nd, where the sun would align, go through the hypostyle hall, and actually illuminate the back of the temple in what? The holiest of holies. Now watch this. In this temple here, this is what's happening in the temple. This is inside the very same temple I'm showing you here, the temple at Karnak. Now inside this temple at Karnak, on this specific day, between the 20th or so of February and October, the sunrise will come into the temple. And within those 3 days, every time it rises, it will slowly go to your right, until it eventually illuminate these three characters. Now there are four characters here. This is Ptah, you have Amun-Ra, you have Ramesses II, who is not necessarily a god, he's a king. All of these others are gods. Ptah is a god, or a Neter. Amun-Ra is a Neter. Ramesses is the god as such. And you have Heru in the form of not Soka, but Raherokate. So these three would be illuminated by the light of the sun, but Ptah, the sun doesn't touch Ptah at all. He's always there in the dark. Yes. Blessed love, my family, give thanks for your presence with us. Pardon me for taking a moment to come in. I was just giving you a little bit of what we did 2 evenings ago. I know some of you were there with us for that online lecture. If you didn't pick it up, for those who weren't there, that was the mystery of the ark. 2 hours, solid information. I think you just got about 5 minutes of it there. That was Tuesday evening, and no, Wednesday evening, pardon me, the 2nd of June, as was promised. We did that marvelous lecture. And those who were not there, you still have a chance to see the full lecture. Of course, the lecture is not on YouTube. You definitely have to go online and see it on our webinar platform. You still have an opportunity to see the lecture. It's already recorded. The only thing is that you're not going to be there live. You wouldn't be able to interact with us, question and answer, whatever the case is. But I think the bit that you saw, I mean, it was a marvelous lecture, I must say, not because I gave it, but definitely, I'm sure you read the comments, everyone full enjoyed it. So you could still contact us. Of course, you know, email priestisaac27@gmail.com. And definitely you could still be a part of the mystery of the ark. Definitely there is no extra charge. It's the same $25. just contact us. You could also use the Cash App, don't forget that. Atonra 2723, and of course all of that description is below. All right, so don't worry. I know some say, oh, you lock it off. No worry, we have other things to talk about. That was the next show. You can go and check it. This is the next time. This is Chalice Talk. This is the time you come and sit with me. You know, I mean, I must tell you, like the mystery of the Ark lecture, it was like from the time we start, it's just facts, bam, 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 no time to stop, no time to say, how are you? Yesterday, this is what I did. Tomorrow, this is what I'm going to do. No, we don't do that there. We just make sure we drop it. Eh? People pay to come and sit. Eh? Chalice Talk is a bit different. We sit and we hold a meds. I'm going to light my chalice now. If this is the first time you came to Chalice Talk, well, this is what we do. We bring our chalices here. I'm sure some of you done light off already. I haven't lit yet. Usually when we light off, we take time to meditate and penetrate and with some good music, Naya Bingi, and go to a level, and then we start to spit. We choose a topic. We don't necessarily have slides for it. We don't necessarily have a script. We just go with the flow. But what I want to talk about tonight, well, today it's not night yet. We're prepping and ready for the Sabbath. I want to talk about the crucifixion of Prince Emmanuel. And I'm going to tell you why I want to speak about that. This one, although it's for everyone, this program is from a brother Joseph X. And this was a question brother Joseph X put to me. And brother Joseph X actually traveled from, where was it now? Austria, if I'm not mistaken. He is a member of the UNI, and he came to Antigua. Well, he said he came to Antigua to meet myself and a few other individuals, but I never saw brother Joseph X until last 4 or 5 days before he left, but he was here for a couple of weeks. And let me just say, that's not the first time that has happened. Several times people leave wherever they are and they come to Antigua, several times, looking for Priest Isaac. And sometimes they wait until the last 2 days to come and check me. Listen, if you're coming to Antigua and you, for whatever reason, believe you're going to come and see Priest Isaac, you should tell me before you come. And even when you come and I just get the idea, hey, I met this brother, I met this sister. She says she's coming from Canada. He said he came all the way from wherever and he wants to see you. I take time. I would take the time and make sure I show you my hospitality. Brother Joseph X could tell you the few moments we had. He came up the Greencastle Hill. He saw the view. But you see, he had a few questions. You know, I know he sat with Brother Isern, Rasila, the Nyabingi brothers, King Sagaifu. So for sure, a lot of what he was searching for, I am positive he would have received. But he was asking me about the crucifixion of Prince Emmanuel. And as I clearly told him, I said, my brother, you see, this is a reason. That's why you're supposed to check me when you come. And but although I'm sure he did not get at least my version to the fullness while he was here, because reason meant take time and proper understanding and clarity. So I decided today I will touch upon that. Although I would have done a few videos around the same topic, but it's not going to be the same every time. It's different. And I pointed him to a few of those videos, which I didn't really want to. I would have preferred that we expounded on it together. Yes, we burned some pipe and so, you know. But I mean, that's reasonment is, especially when there are many other people around. Reasonment will go into many different areas, many different avenues. And of course, rich reasonment, yes. But I don't think he even nearly got the question he wanted answered. So, this is Chalice Talk. Let me say this is not for those who say, oh, the video is too long. Well, trust me, this ain't your home here. We have a lot of short videos you could go and check out. But this is when you come and you take time. We're going to watch a few videos. We're going to really hold a meds. And if you don't have your chalice, man, of course, you know what to do. Order your chalice today. This is why this is a chalice revolution, eh? We put in the spliff down. I mean, I put the spliff down now. It got to be, I don't even know, 17, 18 years. Eh? So Chalice Revolution, I know some people screwing, we're wrong with this plan. I'm not here to fight nobody. I'm not here to fight nobody. One thing, we don't fight and argue and pull. We know what we know. You know, if it's one thing, I will encourage you. When you know what you know, you stand on your ground. Don't care how other people feel. And we know what we know. And I'm saying the tree of life was created to be partaken of, not in the teacup, in the chalice cup. How many of you were present when we did the lecture Chalice in Wonderland? Show of hands. You see? Exactly. So what you could do, you should check Chalice in Wonderland. That was one of our online lectures as well. It's still available. It's right there. In fact, when you register for our online lectures, you actually get a free pass to roam through and see all the other lectures that we have done. So if you are really serious about it, Chalice in Wonderland, definitely. Again, it's still there for you to observe. That's another 2-hour lecture. Definitely going into the real essence of the Holy Grail, the Chalwa, you know. So definitely order your chalice today. You know what to do. Email us, priestisaac27@gmail.com. Of course, you know you have different levels of the Chalwa that you can get, from your steam chalice to your painted and designed chalice, or you could get what some people would call a regular chalice, and regular chalice, you know. You can get your chalices from $30, $50. You understand? The best production, not only from Daniel, also Brother Mehdi. And I mean, we work with a few other people because it's all about, you know, industrializing. It's all about coming together with economics. Of course, you know, we are very serious about that here. I find that we as people in general, I don't know what it is, like we are afraid of economics. Even when we see ones pushing economics, like we're afraid to, business bubble. Thank you very much. I appreciate love that coming. But anyway, we wouldn't even waste too much time on that. So what I'm going to do this evening here, I keep saying evening because the Sabbath is coming, but it's still pre-Sabbath, is we want to talk a bit about the Honorable King Emmanuel. And I'm not going to start to talk too much. What I want to begin with, I have a video here from YouTube. This is our good brother Flacco's channel, Fitzroy Floyd. And this is an interview that he did with Elder Priest Tutu, who has become an ancestor from this time. Now, this is not necessarily, you know, going into quote unquote the crucifixion of King Emmanuel. And remember, that was the question and not necessarily the answer. So, you know, let us build and grow. So we're going into the building time now. We're going to spend a moment. We're going to listen to the elder speak. He's going to speak a bit about the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. And as we partake of the tree of life and listen to the elder speak, you know, we will develop the spirit. And trust me, we have some things to get into. You're going to full joy it. Take it from me. So, just break the stick so it lights properly. Give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. Kadamawe Haile Selassie. Holy Emmanuel Selassie Jah. Rastafari. Kedos Emmanuel Selassie Jah. Rastafari. All hail him Negus Selassie Jah. Rastafari. Give thanks to the holy meditation. Give thanks to the tree of life provided. Give thanks to the Chalwa in this moment and the Sabbath coming in. Pray the Most High bless us as we partake of it in your holy name. Thanks for the hand that planted the herb. Give thanks for the packing of the cup. Black Christ reigning supreme. Holy Emmanuel Selassie Jah Rastafari. Blessed love. Welcome to Chalice Talk.
So, in 1958 now, a man rise named Charles Emmanuel Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
And him see my being the beat and drum out of the west. And him declare himself as Emmanuel, the Black Christ.
Black Christ in flesh.
In flesh. So we are in my doctrine. is that
The Lord's anointed.
is the Lord's anointed. My doctrine is that Emperor Haile Selassie the first. Is it said, Lord Jesus Christ of Nazareth, no two man no dead, no other man no hold a position, that him same one Jesus Christ come back.
True.
Because God said to say, him going to send back the same Jesus Christ, sit up on the throne of David in the last days, as King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Up and now, God don't tell you, say, him a come. Him always use Jesus, what?
Christ.
And Jesus Christ, I tell you, say, when you see me,
You see the Father.
Me say, me are the flesh of the Father.
Aye. Argument over.
Argument done. Me are the flesh. So nobody look for no 2-3 man.
Because you can't see spirit.
No, I mean the spirit inside of me. And can't be a next man to sit down in a flesh in a me to for a God, you know.
Aye, multiple.
Multiple for a generator, you know.
What you mean?
So you know, see.
Energy.
Energy.
The I am. That
So,
I am.
man within man him powerful, you know, see it.
And that's why we say I and I.
I and I am the I am.
God
You
in
understand?
flesh.
In flesh.
I and I mean God in flesh.
God in flesh. You understand? So, him seated up now, and him say, well, him wrap off for distinction, for every man have on them head. You see?
True.
So him wrap off now and have a turban. Because the other man them is claim Nyabingi and claim Foundation Church call it. Them man they, some of them have them tam, and some walk out all the while.
Yes. Yes.
Understand? So, him wrap off identity.
Separation.
Separation of identity. So, him, I still say the same Jehovah,
True.
King Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie the first, and say, Holy Emmanuel, which was the name of Christ when
Yes,
he
sir.
come.
Emmanuel. Mean Jah with us.
Eh?
Emmanuel mean Jah with us. God with us.
Yes, the name of Christ is that there. Him take unto himself, say, him are the Holy Emmanuel, you know.
See.
In flesh, you know.
Yes.
All right.
That's a power, you know.
Yes, the power. So him claims, you know, that's him buck up the king now. So I go on there one time, you know, when I just aside the faith, you know.
True.
Go on Spanish, can be a personal experience. Go on Spanish to a road. I hear the holy drum them a lick, you know. Time I be tabernacle down there. When I touch in there on Saturday too. And when I bust inside there and see some man talk with the whole of them them time, man. I never have nothing like that. And when I go in there, I hear them say, Holy Emmanuel and thing on. I say, God inside. You understand?
True.
So I said, God. I know Haile Selassie the first. I said, God, man, Emmanuel inside there, so you know, God, you know. So I said, but we ask God. Well, it's two God in a flesh, bro.
Yeah, how it work?
How it work after me done know say one man operate the show. Different need, different time and stage and different name. But one individual a act. And one actor, you know.
Yes, I.
So,
but a different show.
in a different show. You know what I say?
Yes, I.
So, them a tell me that. So, me know that. You understand?
You know, penetrate.
No. So, now, me have a virgin now. A long time, Rasim come look for me too. I have a theatre named Aram, the theatre out of 7 miles.
Yeah, me know about that one.
All right. So, name Jafrank. So, him have him thing out and him Jafrank say him can line up. I interview this Emmanuel now. See him one time. Emmanuel, he moved from out of Spanish Town Road and go up a 10 miles.
Seeing.
All right. It was the 7th of January, Christmas, them have up there. For Ethiopian Christmas, the 7th of January, you know.
True.
So we have a big Christmas thing up there. So I'm going there, pass through the gate and thing, and brethren go up there. It come like a genie thing, the way the man them operate them things. They're accurate, you know.
Oh.
Them have some food pan in them. They meat, you know.
The bubble them.
Yeah, man. Them fish, man.
Okay.
Them chicken.
In flesh.
Yes. So them have the pan in the year. Them magical, you know. Them pass through, you know. You get food, everything for drink and eat, you know. Like Christmas time about, you know. No money business, you know.
For everything on the house.
And the house and all of the rubber man them in a royal robe, red, gold and green and turban and them stick and a chant on the drum, you get chanting the whole night. So the man said, I'm going to make me see. Let me talk to
Emmanuel.
now. So my brethren go in there. I'm going to see him in a rocking chair. About 3-4 man around him where I'm coach them man there and him there. And him talk reasonable and thing. Stick on. To me, the man where give man respect.
Yes.
I mean, a challenge man title. And a rule man no more domain. And can't tell a man where him say
He's not.
no. And him can't force me for acknowledge neither.
To accept him.
No. You have right word so you know Flacco.
Rastafari.
Yes. When I can't find a word, you step on it like 1, 2, 3 and I count to me same
Yes,
time.
So you jive, man.
That's so we just keep him on a level. Understand? And we get the interview and go up there and book up enough of them man they were sell broom.
So what the interview was like?
The interview was talk about the faith.
See.
And you see him have a mother set. 21 days when a woman them.
In principle.
In principle,
we govern him.
We govern him things.
Yeah, which is good still.
Yes. And him have respect
For the Sabbath.
greetings, yes, respect for the Sabbath and greetings to him book with people that say, my Lord.
Yes.
Understand?
Honorable.
Honorable, you understand? Him have certain things.
Having fasting days.
From fasting days, you understand? So
And having economy too.
then in the broom and economics and they make math too.
Which is good.
Yes, then they must have an economic foundation and it can't stand up.
Aye. No matter how small.
It can't work without economics, man. That means the money runs run
Yes, I.
through trade
Of course. And commerce.
and commerce. So the practical world, you know.
Of course.
Alright. So him have him economics that him not go begging up on the other side. And him have him impressed to him family law.
And having land space.
Land space and him have multiply it too.
Yes.
So him have to have economics.
True.
And him have in ceremonial law according to him seem divinity.
And in priesthood.
And in priesthood order.
True, true.
Alright. So we do have no we don't have nothing to criticize him for.
No, for the administration.
Yes. And I'm sure you see when a woman see her thing, you know, but the rest up there and thing.
Because that is Bible same way.
Yes, see, man, the Bible man, the Bible him commander, man. The Bible him getting him take out him name, you know.
True.
Emmanuel.
Yes.
Alright. But them a worship him now. That's what the worries now.
Ah, yeah.
Them have him now.
Them on a high pedestal, eh?
Yes, but when the king come now. But up and I say when the king come. I say me see Emmanuel and the king but come, you know.
True.
And meet at king's house, you know, when him call up and give them medal to, you know.
Yes.
And me see him stand up and the king shake him and him have to bend him back.
Put him on a gloves. Why him wear gloves?
Eh?
Why him wear gloves?
No.
The picture shows him on a gloves.
Yes, man, me see that picture there, man.
Why do you think he wear the gloves?
Eh? Why am I wear the gloves? I say that ceremonial dressing.
Okay then. Okay. So nothing against that.
No. Ceremonial dressing. Because royalty with your gloves, you know.
Okay.
You don't see the emperor name gloves yet?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So I don't see it when I say a scan or him higher than that. No, nothing like that. Ceremonial dress.
Seeing.
I see Marcus Garvey in a ceremonial dress.
And gloves same way.
Ceremonial, man. When you turn certain dignity, you have gloves, you know.
Yes, I.
Gloves is a royalty business, you know.
Yes. A heights.
A height, you understand?
Man.
So, I don't see that no superiority beyond no scar, no.
You take away nothing from him.
No, I saw him dress.
Yes. Give thanks.
I'm full of him there, you know.
Yeah, man.
I meet the king of kings, you know.
Yes, sir.
So, he put on him gloves and him special turban, different wrap.
Robe and
Yeah, look special for the day, you understand?
emblems them
Yes,
well.
I remember saying, you know, I'll do, he must say, him is Emmanuel.
Emmanuel.
Him do for nothing for himself.
And
And
him
the
say,
king name him
him
come.
say him is Melchizedek.
Yes. And him still call the king to the two main names of the Almighty, which is King Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie the first.
True, true.
He money put in Emmanuel, and we put in Marcos. But them two main names they were called. Them three main names is King Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie the first, and Holy Emmanuel.
Yes, sir. Which is
Yeah, blessed love. Yeah, we definitely give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie the first. So those are the words of priest Tutu. In fact, let me just give you a few more words. Let me see if he actually, because they spoke about a few things. This was just for our meditation, giving you a little highlight of how the priest, the Nyabingi priest, his little outlook on the Honorable King Emmanuel.
Haile Selassie, I see him.
Yes, him called that Trinity. You understand? All right. Because the prayers we start the business, this reasoning, you know, is that Trinity prayers, you know. It's something we say reminding, you know. You'll have to jawab your God, King Rastafari.
About here, he went into a different topic. All right. So, of course, as I said, this is from Brother Flacco's, Ras Flacco, pardon me, YouTube channel. So you could literally go to the YouTube channel. This one is on the I think he has a couple of channels there. I think it's Isis Rastafari, and I know he has one for sure by the name of Fitzroy Floyd. That's Ras Flacco's channel there. You should check out. He has a lot of interviews, man. I mean, with the ancient ones in Jamaica. I mean, definitely rich with history if you're serious about, you know, taking in good knowledge. See, like how we hear, that's why it's Chalice talk. It's like we hear with the man, you know, and the man talking to us and just sparking us up and giving us a thing. So go and check it for yourself. We speak about many other things. Yeah, I think Ras Flacco actually went into the 1958 event, but the elder was saying that he wasn't there, so he can't give an account. So that's really where we want to go with that. So really what that is about, basically, once again, just giving you a rendition there, priest Tutu, touching in, giving you an idea of at least his tradition, you know, meeting the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards even before he went to Bulbi. And he obviously speaks highly of him. He has his own tradition. I think he made that clear from how he sees the Most High and, you know, Jesus Christ's return and full thing. But still, and I noticed that with most ones that I have met and ones that I've heard, it's a very interesting thing when it comes to the concept that Prince Emmanuel comes with, where he himself put himself within the structure of the Godhead. And many ones were and are offended, you know. But when you hear the real hierarchy speak, and they would declare themselves, but they it's just high respect, you know. I mean, from my personal experience, is only Bongowato, which we go into next, would have really have ever heard, you know, on that level. I mean, I have a few other elder ones that I hear try to drop a thing or two. But even those ones have come around today and respect the Honorable King Emmanuel till they wear him as badge and so on. These are ones that I know for sure would have never done that 15 years ago. but growing to see the respect of the man clearly. And to be honest, amongst I and I that live up, you know, it takes the thing to another level. Let me make sure. Now, this one was from a special Chalice talk that we had when we were speaking of Ras Bono G's. Here it is, Elder Bongowato. Now, this was a special Chalice talk. I'm sure you could recall this, those of you who saw this one. If you didn't see this one, this is actually from my YouTube channel specifically. So if you did not see this one, it is actually what's it? Ancient Bongowato speaks of Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. King Emmanuel, I have nice vibes, but heavy. Yeah, it's really heavy, man, but I'm not going to the depths of it. What I want to highlight here now, as we are partaking and holding the mess, is really the point that Ras Flacco would have dovetailed into. And that is the situation in 1958. You know, in fact, now man, let's go into another level before we go there. Yeah, you're gonna love this one. Hold on, Elder Bongowato. Let's come out of this, and I'm gonna return to Ras Flacco again. This is from Ras Flacco's channel once more. As I said, he has a lot of good reasoning here. Enough respect to this. Just listen to this, and we'll go. Just listen.
Vibration, the trauma, them still up on the people.
Okay, before we go. So this is Ras Flacco, Ras Julius, Ras Gilly, Ras Max, Ras Lincoln, Ras Stefan, and Mama Hyacinth.
Of course, it's an obsess. And if Jews get reparation,
Just listen.
why them are
It's a reason, eh?
Wait there.
The reparations first come through in the Karnak atrocity the government fulfilled, which is a crime against humanity, you know. The Britain government and enslavers, the Queen said one time, in her lifetime, her ancestors never commit any crime, you know, against humanity. But the crime did not commit in her lifetime, you know, it's before her lifetime, or what she inherit.
Right.
So the courts of England say, yo, we not pay nobody nothing. Because enough for them lifetime, nothing like that. So it's a stopgap there. So. But the first move what Jamaica government did is to compete for the Karnak atrocity through the Rastafari Karnak Benevolent Society. But they are not coming transparent. The transparency one side is that I know Asians who get benefit and I can't go around that. Who get money, who get care, and money is allotted to them for life and afterlife.
Because remember still, you know, this is a brother we've interviewed and someone we definitely, you know, give thanks and appreciate the work that he's doing with the elders as well. So he's speaking from his knowledge that, you know, he know elders that have received the reparation from the government and that will be receiving it for a lifetime. Well, he goes on.
For the beneficiaries. But Bustamante declared bringing our Rasta dead are alive. If the cemetery at Bo can hold them, confine them to Bogil, that means you will bury them at Bogil.
Right.
Dead or alive, you know. So that's the declaration on our Rasta in Jamaica through every generation of Rasta. So the reparations can't stop at the survivors. Every Rasta will get a benefit. And that's where the argument is. So that part, Jamaica government say there will no more be no Karnak atrocity. So a Rastafari if he stand up and agitate for Bakawal and for Pinnacle along with Coral Garden. So that's the argument there. So the argument is not more like a spirituality argument now. So who is Prince Emmanuel and who is this and who is that? Prince Emmanuel already done his work. And said the Bobo Hill. And said a tabernacle of thanksgiving, hymn book and Bible. And set a level that is Africa we are dealing with, and repatriation and school.
It's a school enough.
Saying,
room too.
give thanks. Jerusalem school rule.
Enough leave out that
Right.
there.
The Jerusalem school rule.
It's a good example to for even the Diabingi and other places
Exactly.
too. Because as I said, them don't know the protocol about where them are dealing.
No.
And if we did that teach
No.
that differently from just a beat drum and rare.
Because I man go up there. It's a place of reverence. You take off your shoes, you empty your pocket, you hold a reverence and a sabbatical, and you hold that, which is anciency. The daughters them confined you to the orders of separation then. So I see that being upheld, you see the order of discipline that is seen. There are other things what we need to look into, but you look on what we actually see, which is practical. You see one go out and then selling broom and carrying money, or him have a duty, and you see the robes them, you can identify them clearly, say, it's Shanti them man there. You can't mislead them, you know, because when they come a road, in them garments. So you can see the upfulness and the trad. So we give thanks to Prince Emmanuel Vision Rasta. Yeah, but you know, all right.
You remember in a couple of years gone, yeah, yeah, but you them Rasta property there, so, and they have left space for the bad boy, they walk through it. The bad boy, them bad them up.
I remember saying, no.
And burn down them place.
Yeah, but look.
Documents.
Look.
I'll vote there for
Yeah, but there's a violation. Wait a minute, man. There was a violation. That's a wonderful level. But we look back even earlier than that then. For the 21-day convention, you know, or in keep, you know. Downtown Kingston, when the ship's supposed to come in and the repatriation supposed to come in. And whole of Rasta them said everything what they have, you know. And come for the 21-day convention, and when them did it, and when the knowledge say no ship now come, not now come for repatriate, and them decide say the youth them decide say yo, they go burn some fire and burn. Them time they never been and never good enough. A man a burn tire in Rasta, and go lick off Queen Victoria and statue, you know, lick off the Hannah fight, you know, and burn pure fire downtown, and police come and police beat everyone, you know. H.M. Bongowato say, Prince Emmanuel get beaten non-stop. And if you can say him when dead, I will then pull him over one fence and check him. Prince Emmanuel not no broken bone, Rasta. Them say only God can get so much police beaten and stand up without a broken bone. And that's how Prince Emmanuel get in power. Can survive. And then he left the Spanish town headquarters and go a Bulby and say, I'm not with no man because they violate, because he never tell them to go cause riot. And then disobey because he never tell them to start no fire and start no riot, no police button come. And that's when separate and go a Bulby. And separate him thing. So that total separation, because he said, unruly Rasta when come there. And what when come there for, they never consult him and he go start riot. Because Bongo Isaac going to go enough man and go there, you know, on big convention. Because the vision is just like how the pressure in Jamaica was so much that man said, yo, we go left yourself. But what? A ship will come out miles of Black Star Line and come to Marcus Garvey. None no come. So when I check it now, it's all the people were so stressed and they want to leave. So no matter what the leader tell them, Congo, they nothing go messy and say, yo, ship will come. How we go? So when a man sell all in house and sell in donkey and sell everything, when he realize no ship will come, when he go?
You see a back a wall.
Yeah.
Set up shanty town.
And he gone back a country or something, live on street because everything. Him can't go back to the man when he sell it, he give him bed and he dress and say, well, that's me want it back.
Feel all the way too. So
he feel all the way. Yeah, and live in the jungle. That scene. So when you look on Prince Emmanuel now, you see Prince Emmanuel is a politician, or like the Queen, or like Governor General. True. Prince Emmanuel is a man of words, you know, and letters, you know.
Yeah.
So we love him for that.
True. For diplomacy.
Diplomacy and reverence and orders.
Yes.
You hold a Sabbath, turn your face to the east, and you chant. You see me? So there is a lot of good in Prince Emmanuel.
Yes.
Right now I can admire.
So we don't know.
And we don't go around that. So I'm going to talk about this and that. We don't respond to him around that. We don't talk about the other part of what him stand for. We talk about what we see, which is appropriate to the movement and the time of it was necessary too.
True. Self-reliance and all that.
Self-reliance. And it's one of the mansions them too. You can't get rid of that. You're not being, you're Bobo Shanti at 12 tribe, you go get rid of Prince Emmanuel in mansion of Rastafari.
Yeah.
And Bobo Shanti is global. And Jamaica want them there.
Let's organize if we organize and centralize. I will meet down at Marcus Garvey place, Liberty.
Come there. And what they come there for, they never consult him and he go start riot.
Before I move on, I just want to highlight the main point here. So the reasoning also continues, kind of goes off of that subject. As I say, we are highlighting a specific subject here tonight. And still not night yet, you know. And I think one of the brethren that was speaking, he's going to say that they met down, I think it was Liberty Hall, and there was a little conversation with the red up and the red down thing. You don't know the vibes, but that's not what we want to talk about now. Many things on it we could talk about, but we want to home in and keep our mind on the subject. In fact, we have spoken about those things already. Let's concentrate here. Now, what kind of touched me, you know, is, and you'll hear it from so many ones, of his great works. And these elders that we call Elder Stefan and so them is real elders. Man. I know little elder, real elder. Bongo Flacco may be the youngest elder amongst them kind of elders there. You know. And when you hear the elders gather and they truthfully speak of Brother Eddie with all this respect, flying here and there is massive respect. Eh? And of course, they always put in, maybe just to declare themselves. I don't feel that way. I mean, we want to understand it. God, that's a lot of respect. They always make sure you understand, but hey, listen, I mean, if you believe he's just him, and they usually kind of half talk it, you know, if we know business, or a man believe, if a man, we know, watch all that, we talking about what we see. Nothing wrong. Because that's what you say in the scripture. If you don't believe who I be because of what I tell you, it's all right. Just check my works. Saying about what you're saying, just check the works. But what I wanted to highlight here, because we're talking about now the crucifixion of Prince Emmanuel. You know.
Only God can get so much police beating and stand up without a broken bone. And if you can say him when dead, I will then pull him over one fence. Higher in a rasta. And go lick off Queen Victoria and statue, you know.
So the situation is, one moment, Elder Flock, respect. So the situation is, let's give a good proper storyline so we don't have to repeat it, because we have a few things to touch here. So 1958 is really when the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church of True Divine Salvation has its official beginning. King Emmanuel speaks of from the 1940s. Being realistic with the dates, the 1940s. If a man tell you, well, they tried it from 30s, I ain't argue with the first and second thing with no one. Eh? King Emmanuel, from what I've read, say from the 40s, after getting a specific vision, you know, he take up this mission. And at the same time, taking up the mission, 1958 officially is the beginning of the Congress, but the Congress before that, just like Rastafari before, whenever Rastafari rise from creation, the Congress before that, you understand? As Elder Bongowato said when he met the man done wearing turban and thing, you know, so something was already taking place. And 1958, there was this convention, 21-day convention, from the 1st of March to the spring equinox, the 21st of March, sun in the Pisces. You know what I mean? Feed them fish and bread, isn't it? But you see, this thing is layered. It makes sense. Tug of war with people that not coming on the next level. So the sun was in the fishes, you know, when all of that was taking place. It was the equinox. It was equal day and night. But anyway, let's just keep it on this level. So anyway, from the 1st to the 21st of March, there was the conference, officially the opening of the EABIC. And there was thousands of Rastafari gathered. Some say it is 3,000 is the number really, but some say up to 5,000 ones in general, because at that time Rastafari is not necessarily locks alone, you know, a lot of comb head and just ones Rastafari was seen from the heart, but those that were in the forefront was carrying, of course, the lion look and the beard and the locks, and those that had the heavy fro and the comb back, etc., etc. So anyway, 1958, the Congress, Bongowato, Spanish Town, Kingston, Jamaica. And at the end of it, as you would have heard, individuals would have molested a statue of Queen Victoria, and they broke off the statue's hand. I don't know if molested is the right word, but they broke off the statue's arm. And that kind of really was the point that brought in the force of the police upon them. And that was an interesting thing, you know, because to be in Jamaica at that time, to be having such a big convention for 21 days in the open, just there, and you know, police was known for coming harsh on Rastafari. You know, that is why Elder Flacco is saying it's not just Coral Gardens 1963. It's Bongowato 1958. And you have to remember Pinnacle as well. So it's not like it's the first time they're understanding Rastafari, but to see such a gathering. So if you can imagine in 1966 when the emperor came and you see the video with the gathering, so you could imagine the gathering. You can't underlook this thing here of 1958, the 1st to the 21st of March. For a long time, even we as Rastafari, we are guilty of keeping that out of our history. Trust me, we are guilty of keeping Prince Emmanuel out of the history. Trust me, I know that for a fact. So it's the time now to tell it. You know, and that is why we go for the references from those. We don't just come and chat it, you know. We find the references from those who were there, who would have seen it with their eyes. Give thanks. And we get into some of that in a moment. So when the police came down now, you know, enough man get blows, we're talking about blows. But it appears from the story that the blows that the Honorable King Emmanuel got surpass that of everybody maybe even put together. Now, hearing it from a Bobo Shanti, you may not, you know, you say, well, it's a Bobo Shanti saying it. He just trying to, he pushing his own vibes. So this is why now, as a skilled reporter and journalist, you got to bring your sources and resources and go for some primary sources as well. So the man was beaten so bad, as Elder Flacco said, is there Prince Emmanuel get his powers, because nobody could have get so much blows, still be alive. In fact, they have several songs in the reggae world that was made because of that. Prince Buster, pick him up and you lick him down is a hard man to kill or to die, something of the sort. And then they have the other one, this man never trouble no one. And if you trouble this man, just like what the Queen of England said in 1966, there's a man in this land that no one is to molest. In time to come, he shall be Lord over my law. Some people say it's over my lords. I'm sure you've heard a different outlook. This is a serious, serious thing. So this is, remember the baton, one of the batons broke in three. And they took one of the members of the Congress under one of the last videos we did, gave the exact place. I think it was the Honorable Kes Westmoreland, gave the exact police station where the broken button that is broken in 3 is inside of a glass case. And when you go there to join the force, they show you the broken button and say, you see this here? This here was broken in a specific Rasta man. Never before, same story. Anybody ever get them blows? Remember, them is the blows giver and live. So that's the history. That's not a Bobo Shanti. In fact, I think I've learned more about that outside of Bobo Shanti. If you ask the regular Bobo Shanti about the crucifixion of Christ, you might get a whole different story than what we're going into here. So let's just magnify this again.
When them did it, or when the knowledge say no ship now come, not now come for repatriate, and them decide say the youth them decide say yo, they go burn some fire and burn. Them time they never been and never good enough. A man a burn tire in a Rasta, and they go lick off Queen Victoria and statue, you know, lick off the hand and fight, you know, and burn pure fire downtown, and police come and police beat everyone, you know. H.M. Bongowato say.
Hold on. And so you could take your notes. An ancient Bongo Roy say. He was watching.
Prince Emmanuel get beaten non-stop. And if you can say him when dead, I will then pull him over one fence and check him. Prince Emmanuel not a broken bone Rasta. Them say only God can get so much police beaten and stand up without a broken bone. And that's how Prince Emmanuel get in power. Can survive. And then he left the Spanish town headquarters and go a Bulby and say, I'm not with no man because they violate, because he never tell them to go cause riot. And then disobey because he never tell them to start no fire and start no riot, no police button come. And that's when separate and go a Bulby.
And so that's what I'm saying, that you could be running such a celebration for 21 days without any sort of interruption from the cops. And obviously they know what's going on. It's not in the hills you are. You're not in the bush. You're not, I mean, I've never visited the exact spot, at least I don't think so, in Jamaica where all of that was taking place. But whether it's, even if it's behind the wall or behind the fence or in the gully, I mean, it was big enough. You can have 3,000 people gather, Rasta gathering, and imagine the 5,000 must be the onlookers that came and go and say, wait, them man tell ya, and whatever the case is, and yeah, and police and say, oh, go on, leave them alone. Somebody had to say, leave them alone. Somebody had to say, leave them alone. 21 days we send them. Rasta man gathering, burning fire. One elder was saying in that time it wasn't wood, it was tire, but fire burning, beating drum day and night. And somebody had to say. I mean, police don't even need to get orders to do them kind of thing. To go say, yeah, you don't need to call the superintendent. Yeah, man, you kill a Rasta, you're good. You might get 2 stripes for that. So somebody had to say, louder, you know, louder. But it's 10 days gone now, louder. Sir? No, wrong hand, get a salute with the so-called right hand. Sir? The Rastas are still in the square. You know, hear me say louder, cha. Rastas are still in the square. Since when you talk so fast? Yeah, this is a wonderful interview that Mutabaruka did with Mortimer Planner. And in this interview here, we're going straight to the cheese, you know. There's so many things that were spoken of in this interview. I love the part where Brother Martin or Planner, Brother Kumi, speaks of, you know, the visitation of the emperor. And this is really something else. He said he just had an operation on his throat. So like he really couldn't even speak. And you know what's outstanding about Martin Plano still? Not that he write for Bob Marley and all of that. Yes, give thanks that gone down in history. But bigger than that, man. Let me solve things, man. Bigger than that. Because when the first delegation went to visit the emperor in 1961, around the same 21st day April timing, from the 15th also to the 21st. It was him and a few other races, Douglas Mack, few other ones, and some other dignitaries from Jamaica, because it was a government-sponsored trip, you know. It wasn't just Rasta come together, and the government said, okay, go ahead, let's do a little thing, and we can go to Ethiopia and talk to the king. All right, and interestingly, the Honorable King Emmanuel and Ras Bona G's were the two outstanding people that denied to go on that trip and referred to it as a migration scheme. That's 1961. The history books will speak of that. So, interestingly, Martin Plano was the only dreadlocks that went on that trip. Everybody else is, even the other races, they were brushed back and so at that time. Martin Plano was the only dreadlocks, and he speaks of that also with glee, you know, being the first Ras, in a sense, real Rastas, such as, well, I would say he put it that way, but a Ras with locks, with the identity that would have stepped into the land outside of course, you know, the Locksman of Ethiopia and the Betawi, etc., obviously. And so that's one. But I mean, this is big to me. When the emperor came now, remember it was a sea of people, and he wasn't even in the sea, you know, not because you see him on the video waving and telling the people move back. He was not in the sea. Not the beach, you know, this a lot of people, so it's like a sea of people. He was somewhere on some sort of house stop. He's saying this on this video here with Mutabaruka. It's somewhere prior to this, but I mean, we can't go to that. But I'm just showing you something quickly. And he said when the call came, calling Martin Plano, I think he said it's his brother that came and said, hey, Kumi, is you there want, you know? And he say on the house top or rooftop, and he take one step and come down. He don't even know how he do it. Mutabaruka laughed. And he made his way through and went up to the plane and, you know, opened the way for the emperor to come through. That's a big thing. You know what I mean? That's a big thing. And I mean, the emperor called for a Rasta man to come pave the way. Interestingly, a man he met already, but the man with the locks amongst the other races. And the brethren say he just took a throat operation, and he went up there and he don't know how he started to talk again. That means real thing. You see it on the video. So this ain't no make-up story. You see him on the plane and asking the people to move aside. So it's something real. So Rastafari is the light. Rastafari is power. So what you have to say about that one day now? A man could take that and say, oh boy, Martin Plano is Michael the Archangel. How come he not call nobody else? He's, yeah, you see, you know, because we dogmatic. Very dogmatic. But anyway, because all what I say here tonight, you know, I don't pull no biblical scripture, you know, not because we use the term crucifixion. That's the question that I was asked. You know, that's why I say if you ask somebody else, the answer might be different. You check it, the answer might be, you know what I mean? Well, Christ was crucified on a Tuesday, and he rise up Good Friday to keep the Sabbath. He's crucified at Mother White Bridge. And I mean, and you might have thought to try to, and not that that is wrong, you know? I mean, I think we done decode that properly. So it's not like it's wrong. But as the man said here, you know, Flacco, Ras Flacco, look, me the business man thinking, but I know what I see in front of me. So we're talking about what we see in front of us. Because all of them esoteric talking has to do with what I'm talking about right now, what we see in front of us. So now Marty Moplano now, he got testify. And if you didn't know who he was, I just explained. So his testimony should carry some sort of weight. So let's hear. Mutabaruka, the cutting edge. Chicka, 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 chicka. I wonder if you still use that. Long time when really listen most of it. Used to have a sock or cut it to like a loud cutting edge. Anyway.
Yeah, cutting edge. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I.
Wait, heavy for you. Yes, cutting edge. May I tell you this them vibes, yeah. Yeah, what did I say? Do I have any vibes like Prince Edward's? Whole heap of one never have none close, especially now that you have a whole heap of youth where I heal him as part of the Trinity. But yeah, I didn't know him from the Trenchtown times and things.
Prince Edward?
Yes.
1950 at the first of March, him keep a convention, Dangaki walk.
Hold on, man, jumping quick there.
First
From the Trenchtown
Prince
times
Edward,
and
boy,
things.
Prince Edward?
Yes.
1950 at the first of March, him keep a convention, Dangaki walk. And we got me as him secretary, me write all of the communication then.
No, I just have to, give me a second, everything blessed. Get my chalice together here. This is why it's chalice talking. You see the difference with chalice talk and, let's say, an online lecture? It's a different mentality. So for the students I'm talking, you know, we have more than students listening here, but for the students I'm talking for the moment, you see, there's a difference. So the atmosphere gotta be different. You know, the energy gotta be different. Who's offended, that's their business. Who you invite, gotta be different, because we invite everyone. But those who see that is something worth even paying for, they bring a different energy to the hall. Yeah, this is chalice talk. So what a man saying here now, because he know he's clearly showing he was Prince Emmanuel's secretary. He write a lot of the letters we be talking about the Prince Emmanuel sent to the Queen and sent to the governor, and this is Marty Moplano writing there. Marty Moplano knows something, because he said, according to his words, that they should take, the government should go up Bubble Hill and get Prince Emmanuel bones and carry them back to Ghana and bury them. I don't he said that about nobody else. That's Marty Moplano. He says that. He right on the same interview here. You understand? And he says, well, say he's not a bobo at one point, but somewhere down the line say he's everything. He's bobo, he's 12 child, he's big. Yeah, just reality, you know. You don't always have to be, and the book of Matthew said, this is the book of Matthew talking. You hear Matthew talking? This is Matthew talking here. And Mark talking. Yeah. No disrespect to call you Matthew or Mark, eh?
Dangaki walk. 50
know him from the Trenchtown times and things.
Prince Edward?
Yes.
1950 at the first of March, him keep a convention, Dangaki walk. And we got me as him secretary, me write all of the communication then. Me no bubble no.
Yeah.
But me write all of the communication.
Them days you didn't have Bobo. I mean, you have man who follow him as part of the Trinity.
No.
This is a new thing. Come on.
No. It was Emmanuel Edward.
Prince Edward.
Edward.
Yeah.
Good. Well, in a March the first convention start, and it's supposed to end in the end of March. Anyhow, somewhere between the line, from the 1st to about the 18th as them did it, they move the meeting from Spanish Town Road, the Billings have him factory there.
Yeah.
Same place where you see them, I show them where the tunnel come from under there. So. Good. Well, he moved it from there so and carried go to Victoria Park. Rastaman go there and take him high and rod. Victoria from down at the bottom of Beef Market King and put her right part there. Rastaman take him high and rod and lick Victoria hand. Bop it. Broke out Victoria hand. So it get police mad. They imagine it was live Victoria. The lucky thing is that statue of Victoria.
The king say you could imagine if it was the live Victoria, the lucky is a statue of Victoria. That's funny.
Now lick Victoria hand. Bop it. Broke out Victoria hand. So it get police mad. They imagine it was live Victoria. The lucky thing is that statue of Victoria. Them beat Prince Edward to pulps. Beat.
Hold on. You coming? Here where is it? They beat Prince Edward to pulp. When you're beaten to a pulp, you know, it's done, you know, nothing else there to beat him. You know, I only say Matthew, Mark, and so to say them is the witnesses. You write in the next Bible, you have to put them things in there. Bongo Roy's testimony. They beat Prince Emmanuel non-stop. That's Bongo Roy's testimony. And when they throw him over the fence and something, they check him and something. No bones broken. I mean, that's just a short version. It's a whole heap of thing, you know. Whole heap of thing. And talk about 5 bleeding wounds. That sounds like more than 5 bleeding wounds to me. That sounds like dozens of bleeding wounds. 5.
Imagine it was live Victoria. The lucky thing is that statue of Victoria. Them beat Prince Edward to pulps. Beat.
Who to say?
Victoria, the lucky thing is that statue of Victoria. Them beat Prince Edward to pulps. Beat him.
So it's him that lick the statue?
No.
Oh, I know him. Oh, them say him influence it.
Good. One man who leave Akiwa Bakawal go to the park with him, you know. But it's pure broke up hand and broke up foot, man. Come back a base.
Come back a base like that. Pure broke up hand and broke up foot. But not Prince Edward. Yeah, and of course, like Matthew and Mark, you might get different version because he go on to say more. And Flacco wasn't really there, but we get the point. But he go on to say some extra thing before the separation. Let's see if we can just put that in.
Wounded soldier, parade of the wooden soldier. Now, me write a letter to Sir Kenneth Blackburn, the Governor General. Him answer the letter. So we must carry a delegation to the appropriate minister portfolio, which was the Minister of Home Affairs. Sentence them come from to Dr. Ivan Lyde. He was the Minister of Home Affairs.
After all them blows.
We go to him say, well, at that time, we in a federation. We never mash up the West Indies Federation yet. So, him say, he meet in a 3rd of April or 4th of April. He meet delegation away, 12 away. This is when they come back from 12 away.
Listen.
This is when they come back from Minister of Home Affairs, where we're going to meet. From that, Prince Edward upon him one. Him no better go back and meet. Him no come and no meet where Friday is just a conglomerate area.
Yeah.
Federation, all different local.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't have any 12 tribe.
There was a federation.
There was local 15 at the
Davis
time.
Lane. Yeah, we did that.
Yes, sir.
Davis Lane, yeah.
Good. So, you find this up. We have this Prince Edward.
Rise up now.
Rise up. And everywhere him go, he have to move if him go there this week. He have to move go to Harris Street and Duff Street top there. He have to move till him find on the hill there. And so.
All right, let me just leave it at that. Of course, as I said, man, you have to check all of these things. We'll be here forever, but we're just taking out the main points. All right, so Brother Martin Muplano again, giving you an idea. I think the story is consistent, isn't it? It's the same over and over again, and emphasis is given to this beating and this belief to have died and beaten to a pulp and no broken bones, and from ones who, even before they start to talk, they want you to know, well, them ain't no bubble. Give thanks, it's all right, that's good, it helps the argument, if there is. All right, we're gonna hear from a bubble now. We're gonna go straight back to my channel here. You should visit the channel. If you haven't subscribed, that'll be a good thing to do. And of course, yeah, I mean, you're a subscriber, that's good, but you gotta put on the notification bell. If you're a student of the Tiger's Nest, you got to have on your notification bell so you know when we are ready to go. We were definitely sitting on the Tiger's couch here several years ago, myself and the Honorable Priest Zebulon, and we were going into many different things, but the Honorable Priest was going to go into a bit of hey, let me just play the thing, man. I listened to an interview with Martin Muplana and Mutabaruka that I'm sure you know these individuals.
Yeah, I know them live.
Okay,
I know them live.
Before you get there, but a wonderful interview that I replay sometime on my station, radioanu.com, and Martin Muplana going to the depths of, he said he was King Emmanuel's secretary.
Of course.
At the
beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, but you see them people, they think they were too smart.
Yeah, he said,
and that caused them
get
too slow.
Beaten to a pulp.
Yeah.
And that nobody thought he would live again.
Of course. There's a man called Rex Nectarford. He's a historian.
Yes, of course, yes.
He said he never seen no black man beating like Emmanuel in it.
Okay, hold on. Now that's very key. I'll make him go with the rest. I mean, so you're gone out of the Rastafari realms now. You're gone into the scholarly realms as such. Professor Rex Nettleford, historian. Barry Chavez, historian. These individuals have already documented it, specifically of the very same event and the level of beating that the Honorable Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards received. So Rex Nettleford now, man. I mean, when you hear, scholars speak and of historians over the Caribbean, his name always comes up. Every time I hear his name, I always refer to, what Honorable Priest Zebi said here and what I knew he said concerning such. This is serious. He never see anybody get so much blows before. This is not a Rasta talking now. We live again.
Of course. Yeah. There's a man called Rex Nectarford. He's a historian.
Yes, of course, yes.
He said he never seen no black man beating like Emmanuel in his lifetime. That was when they went to Victoria pair,
Yeah.
where they thought they were going to Africa, and one of the Bengi Bredin broke up the statue, the hand of the statue, Queen Victoria. So the police come up, everybody had to run. The man said, I don't know where to go. And grab one little baby with him. They got everything for him. And beat up him till he dropped. When they bring the ambulance and throw him inside the ambulance, take him to the morgue. When they reach the morgue, when they open back of the ambulance, Emmanuel sit down, shutting eye, bleeding and sweating. When he opened his eyes, the whole crowd run. Yeah. Reverence said that on the Jamaican radio. I listened to him. He was talking about Emmanuel. He never seen no one get beaten like that man in his lifetime. Yeah, Emmanuel go through things for we today. So we don't need to water it down. We don't need to take bribe. We don't need to play with Emmanuel. Emmanuel stand for this with his whole life. Yeah, Emmanuel sacrificed himself for Africa. The robe and the turban, that's our original way. When you talk about Sandié de Keita, Mali, the ancient Mali Empire, the same, when you look at them, picture them, the same Emmanuel you see.
If you have never seen this interview, this is again is on our channel, Priest Isaac channel, YouTube channel, and this is the interview, Priest Zebulon Amun Anafo Frafra, Ghanaian Elder Part 2. So there's a Part 1. You should go, obviously, if you haven't seen this, I think you're gonna go and look for this here. It is definitely inspiring. An interview I did with him in the Bahamas, actually, Elder Priest Zebulon. So now, hearing his account as, yes, a Bobo Shanti, but quoting a very esteemed historian. And so, I mean, this is clear to anyone that this account is a clear account. You could put this in history solid and stamp the seal of approval on it. That in 1958, the 21st of March, Prince Emmanuel got a beating. That is equivalent to no other beating that a one can clearly testify of that I've ever heard. I never hear nobody talk about, I hear about people get tortured and beat up and so, but I never hear this kind of account continually from different angles, from people not aligned with each other, people that actually have a problem with Prince Emmanuel and his outlook on many things, but yet still must testify that never before, even the police says so, never before we ever beat anybody like this. And he's still around, no broken bones. You hear what Priest Zebulon say? They put him in the ambulance and carry him to the hospital. That's not what he said. He said they put him in the ambulance and carry him to the morgue. The undertaker was waiting. Think about that wrestling undertaker? Bong. No. I hear you. No. They're ready to go and put him on ice. And another one bites the dust, but he's sitting down. I could just imagine the whole vibes. Are we talking history here? No makeup thing. Nothing to try entice the crowd. No make-believe. Whether you believe he's God, Christ, Melchizedek or not, that don't mean nothing to this conversation here. It's just reality. The man was beaten to a pulp. Your prophet says so, no offense. The man was beaten to the point where everybody thought he was dead. Yeah. And had no broken bones. We can make a little analogy now with the theology, because that was one thing that stood out about Christ. None of his bones were broken. The scripture said that. Not even the Jesus story alone. The Psalms show you that none of his bones were broken. Hey, it had to come good, eh? I don't see a man and people writing all kind of clownish comment. You can't play with this here. You think this is your little ring around the rosy foolishness? This is the heavens declaring the glory of the Most High. Yeah. I feel always just the vibes. Who we looking for now? Bongowato. All right. Now, this is directly from our channel as well. This, not the origin of the video. We were taking it from Ras Star channel, Star Mindset. Make sure you check Star Mindset channel out. And I mentioned Kes Westmore earlier. Make sure you check 77 Redeem 77. That's a must. If you're serious about understanding the sayings of the Black Christ, the honorable priests have been putting up some documentaries as it relates to the the writings of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, pamphlets and documents sent out to certain government officials, and he's putting them up quite timely as well, so you should definitely check 77 Redeem 77, and not too hard to find. 77, I'll show you if you just type EABIC 77 Redeem right at the top waiting for you. All right, so what I'm saying is now, yeah, so this is the elder ancient Bongowato here, speaking of.
He started to visit the tabernacle at Trenchtown now, and he continued to get good counsel. When he started to organize himself after work there, until when he started to develop, and a few brethren started to cooperate with him, and the first opening, I did when I like open a church this one. You said, no, I need no name, you can't open a church this one. You see, and you ask and I house open. You ask and I house open. The first time open. No, I need no name. So I can't say, in those places I never been in the church. But him never do that still. However still, you go and see thing is 3 times straight. You call that Symbolism. And it's the tabernacle, and I bring them open that. The whole house and I been open up that and keep up the administration. Then I used to keep up the administration with me. Until 1958, him called a convention. International. Yeah. And from then down, he got to a hard time 1958. Because he did a march, night town, parade, and right now, before the man, and early morning, 3 o'clock, and within the parade movement, there are pure bend, and a pure them Kawan, blowing and beating drum and round the image there. You know them image in a parade there? King George and Edward and all them. Yeah, and those attendants used to carry on. And the whole force of Southern Street police come out there. And we asked the Southern Street police to go and beat them and beat them terrible. In principle, get some terrible beating. I tell you something, get some beat man dreadful now.
All right, that's it really. So again, this is a video on my channel itself, not the documentary. The episode is a video, so I'm on my channel. That's the point I'm making. But this is not my original video. I got this from Ras and I know he got it somewhere else too. I saw it on the YouTube. I can't remember, in different parts as well. But anyway, so he's giving the rendition as well of, well, he's speaking of his early meeting with the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. Very nice presentation still, I like it very much. I learned a lot. There's a part of it that is not on here, where he's saying he used the Prince Emmanuel carry him by him, and the yard, you have to bend down something, and you know, it's just nice to hear what he's talking about. And he used to use bottle stopper and create something. I'm not sure what he was talking of, and that whatever it is, he used to take that and make money. But anyway, for me, you know, I love that kind of stuff. The more I can learn and see it and feel it, it does well for me. So anyway, so he's saying here, all right, you know, so he came amongst I and I, and you know, I used to see him with his head wrap up, and I tell him no, whatever the case is, and he came amongst I and I. So he said, King Emmanuel now, Brother Eddie, open a tabernacle, and he called the house to come and bless the tabernacle and thing. Okay, he said about 3 times they have Bingy there and so and so. And then in 1958, he called a convention, which we all know of by now. And things kind of get out of hand. We don't know the story. And he said, just this simple part when he says, and the police come and give them a beating. So it's like he even may not have been in the midst of it, but give them a beating. And then he speaks of Prince Edward, and you could just see, you know, if you understand even psychology, you could see that even the flow of blood changed for a moment where he even looked to the side and said, boy, even he, Prince Edward, he gets some beating there, like, boy, like, yeah, not that kind of like, boy, like, yeah. So you could feel, at least from his understanding, the kind of blow, and he's a man that get blow already several times. He say wake up out of a coma, how much time? So he have to understand all the man that talking about how much blow the man getting. They know what getting blow is all about, eh? So for them to make that kind of strict account on his blow, 3,000 Rasta there. 3,000 Rasta there, police swarming, and whoever they catch is blows, Brock and Brock foot. But somehow, all concentration is on the blow that Prince Edward gets. It's as if man getting blows and looking at King Emmanuel getting blows and saying, wait, how much blow he can take? So while they getting blows, but wait, the tiller bang bang already. You know, while they getting blows. That's the impression I get, because like the spotlight just go on him. This ain't religion here. This is not no bubble story. Check out Bongowato put it.
The countries where you go and beat them and beat them terrible. In place where I get some terrible beating, I tell you something, get some beat man dreadful now.
Oh, Emmanuel, Haile Selassie,
Countries where you go and beat them and beat them terrible. In place where I get some terrible beating, I tell you something, get some beat man dreadful now.
Yeah. So give thanks, you know, this is Chalice talk. We ain't going nowhere yet. Don't run from it, man. Vibration. Vibration here. So really, again, the crucifixion of Christ, we don't have to go through it what the Bible says, eh? But as Bobo Shanti now, you know, when it's Lenten time, you know, we always take time to pay proper attention to the Lent and introduce it to those who don't even know about it, and do whatever we can to teach it as we go along. And this is interesting as it relates to Bobo Shanti. Bobo Shanti has a certain thing about them that you do not find within Rastafari in general, like, again, Lent. Rastaman keeping Lent, and that's the questions one would ask. I mean, Rastaman keeping Lent, what kind of thing is that? 40 days and 40 nights. And then we have a Good Friday celebration. Oh, what? Rastaman celebrating Good Friday. Yeah, nice vibes, really, you know. And Good Friday or Resurrection, that's really what we refer to it as, really, you know. But just so you know what we're talking about. But Resurrection Day, which the world will call Good Friday, and yet still at that time well, I don't know if they're celebrating, whatever they're doing, the death of the Messiah. where we have a concept where on that day we celebrate the resurrection. And you know, ones will jump back and forth and prance and dance and Christian business and you know. I mean, is that everything that's Christian business is Christian business? Christian business wasn't made from out of the atmosphere. Christian business was studied. They studied somebody else's business for a while and said, okay, let's change this, color this in blue, change this name here, put that country over here, and let's tell over the story. So a lot of the truth. That's why we could take what people call the Christian business and even find the truth within it, you know, even ones that burn the Bible, but yet still, it is in the same Bible they saw that the Lion of Judah hath prevailed. And with Ethiopia, this man was born there, and the whole stuff. You understand? So what you may be calling Christian business, because the science of Good Friday is a science, you know? It's a high science. It deals directly with nature. It's the Christian business that came in, the sun worshippers that understood the science of the movement of the sun. They're the ones that came and fit themselves in. Look at the top of Green Castle Hill. What's at the top of Green Castle Hill? Not a megalith, you know? The grave of a colonial governor, a white colonial governor from Britain, buried himself. Well, he didn't bury himself, but he asked to be buried at the top of Green Castle Hill amongst all the megaliths that naturally align with the sun by nature. And he understood that, so he placed himself amongst them to align even in death with whatever, you know, science that they put together to align with. And I'm saying all of that to say that many things have fit themselves around our concept, around our ancient tradition. Good Friday, as they call it, which is the resurrection period, even in the heavens, is one of those things. Now, you see 1963, the Coral Gardens massacre. I wanted to show some other things, but I'm not going there. But I'm sure you've seen the account of the elders that suffered during that time, 1963, Coral Gardens. That's when they said they wanted Rasta dead or alive, bringing all Rasta. Bustamante said that. Bustamante, as some call him. Say bringing all Rasta dead or alive. And if the jail get too full, we gonna bury them with a place named Bog Hill. Yeah, give thanks. Cemetery. You know where? In Montego Bay. Hey, come to Montego Bay. Not for the rest of the, yeah, at that time. So, but what I'm saying is that was just a death sentence on Rastafari. That's what Elder Flacco was saying earlier, that Rastafari now should be looking at not just, you know what I mean, the elders, but all Rastafari in Jamaica, and especially at that time, supposed to benefit, because it was a hit on all Rasta at the time. So anyway, so when you understand that now, this is dreaded. Rasta had to run, hide, Rasta shave off locks, shave off beard, running through the gully. That was a terrible time. Even 1958, terrible, you know. But you see, 1963, he had a more island-wide manhunt, search for them, pull them out kind of vibration. So it is a different level still. But here it is. Here it is. I always remember Priest Bob. When I asked Priest Bob, so when specifically did the crucifixion of Christ take place? And Priest Bob would say, boy, that happened sometime. He said, boy, he said that happened sometime in the 60s. He's the first one, the first Boba Shanti I ever hear say anything like that it happened in the 60s. Everyone else, until that point, was saying the crucifixion of Christ was 2,000 years ago in Egypt, Jamaica. And I mean, I never wrap my head. I said, well, how that work out? But anyway, that's not what we're really talking about. Let's bring it down to reality. Priest Bob told me it happened in the 60s. Priest Bob even goes as far as to say Governor Hugh Foote had one of the 10 10-penny nails. That's what he referred to them as. I don't know what a 10-penny nail is. He said they crucified Christ with 5 10-penny nails, and Governor Hugh Foot have one of the 10-penny nails. I just telling you what the elder priest Bob of the Bobo Shanti order told me. Exactly. I could tell you where we were. We were around the back of Bobo Hill. He used to have a little place where he just cook his food and chant and plant, and yeah, that's what he told me. The 1960s, you know. Now, what I'm saying here, 1958, and it was kind of a guess, you know. He said the 90s, like he couldn't put an exact date. 1958 is like the 1960s. But what I'm saying, 1963, just a few years, 4 or 5 years after 1958, when the Coral Gardens massacre, you know, happened around Good Friday, Holy Thursday, Good Friday. That's exactly when the Coral Gardens massacre happened. Now, interestingly, outside of the Honorable King Emmanuel, that was really a crucifixion time for the representatives of Christ. You know? Remember when Haile Selassie come 3 years after that? That's a mystic thing, you know. 63 is the same year the Organization of African Unity was formed. 63 is just in between when the first set of Rastas like Marty Moplana. So when Marty Moplana said Prince Edward get beat to a pulp, Marty Moplana done meet Haile Selassie already. But Haile Selassie didn't come to Jamaica yet. You see? So this pardon me. In 1963, Coral Gardens, Marty Moplana already visited Haile Selassie. That's what I meant to say. But Haile Selassie did not come and visit them yet when they were getting brutalized in 1963. That's very interesting, you know, because the same Jamaican government said, Rasta, we're going to send you to visit Haile Selassie first. 1961, and they visit the king. In 1963, any Rasta you find, kill them. You know what that means? The Rasta them that live, you know, is who hide and get away. You know, that's a serious thing. You know. The thing was to wipe out Rastafari. And then 2-3 years after that, Haile Selassie come and visit the same Rastas there that visited them before. And in between the 2 visits, Rastas get a death sentence on them, wanted dead or alive. That's serious history. We can't just put that away, pretend we don't see that, pretend we don't hear that. But again, when was the Rastas getting blows in 63? It was the Holy Week, you know, Holy Week. The Holy Week. Now, hear me now. This is now, I think we've gone into the realms of my opinion now. This is my opinion. Now, I've never heard a specific, precise story of what maybe King Emmanuel went through during Coral Gardens. I want everyone to listen to me good, you know. Listen what I'm saying, good. I'm going to analyze this. I've never got a story. See, like how we just went through all that with 1958, we have a clear understanding of what happened in 1958 as it relates to Prince Edward. We have clear, we get that clear. We understand that clear, 1958. Now, 1963, we also clearly know what a lot of the elders went through because it's well documented. You've seen the documentary. You've seen the documentary. It's well documented, and all the elders come and talk and tell you what they go through, who get licked up here, who get licked with baton, and man, I just me alone, I beat myself, who say they pee up themselves as they get blown, who say they get thrown in jail, who have to say, look at me, tell man, look at me, tell you, see that, and the boy, the man take the gun, but the boy, and the woman say, wait till you go down to prison. Yeah. So we have the account, so we have an idea of the general atrocity and massacre that was taking place in 1963. Now, again, I don't know what happened to Prince Emmanuel at that time. But let's just assume, let's say what he went through in 58, he went through something like that in 63. I don't know. I actually don't know. We have evidence. See, we're not no guessing here. We have evidence of what happened in 58. We can go to any court and win the case of what happened in 58 to King Emmanuel. We know that for sure. And what happened? The man get beaten till everybody say he dead. Man, it's African science he deal with now. How you know he dead? That ain't no religion. African science we talking about. You know, we can go into Africa and bring up enough of them stories there. Don't play with the African science, man. Everybody thought he was dead. They went as far, you know, just carry people to morgue. So, you know, I wonder how you have this thing. Even when they say he put down in the flesh, you know, he went to a morgue, they carry him to a morgue, you know, the morgue tell them go back with him, you know. Nobody talk about them things there. What kind of man is that? What kind of man is that? It don't have to be religion. It's not religion I talking about. With the Bible, any Bible around here? It's not religion I talking about. I'm talking the truth. When Prince Emmanuel put down the structure as they said he was carried to the morgue and he was carried to what other place? Well, the hospital and then the morgue, or however the story. The doctor say the pulse still beating. What are you talking about? And that as well, you know, is not just Bobo Shanti account. So you have to follow what I'm going here. This is real. I can't go lie and pretend I don't see all of that because it might sound religious. That's your business. If you're not cleaning your heart and ducking it, oh, it's supernatural. You can call it what you want. As you just saw the elders talk, you know, this is what I'm saying, you know, it's not me put on no camera and just talking what I say, you know. You hear it for yourself. They carry him to the morgue. So what you carry him to the morgue for? You don't just carry people to the morgue. Somebody have to come and pronounce you dead. You do not just carry people to the morgue. In an ambulance, in a work cell. You feel this is a Tom and Jerry cartoon? It does not work like that. I feel that way, man, because some, you know what I mean? I need to get out of this now and stop trying to fight King Emmanuel too. Hey, anybody try anything on Prince Emmanuel's name? I'm ready for them. I'm telling you, so just if you have any strange ideas, I tell you, step down. Nobody can come and talk no foolishness. Yeah, I ready for them. Like, yeah, I tell you, straight up. Yeah, too much disrespect out there. Too much. Carry a dead man to the morgue and the morgue, carry him back, carry him to the hospital and come again. I even want to laugh, man. I don't feel no way, man. That's the reality. That's how I feel inside. Give thanks to the black Christ in flesh. Who don't want to heal him? That's your business. The man say, check my works. You see everybody testifying, all the chorus singing, but they still saying, but we don't really believe it. That's up to you. And all these young elders that be trying to diss the king too. That's another thing. King Emmanuel I talking. Cause a few gray beard coming. Don't worry, you know what I mean? Everything is time. Man have to check themselves, because remember that some of the elders before you, even them elders are talking, you know. Even those elders that talking, you know. It's even when Elder Flacco was with I, and I said, but why man hide King Emmanuel history? Those of you who are watching, remember what he said? I don't remember what he said. He laughed. He laughed. Sometimes I have to milk them things out of there. I have to catch them little nuggets and put them together. You want to hear Elder Pidao talk about Prince Emmanuel. Elder Pidao said Prince Emmanuel was perfect. Elder Pidao said Prince Emmanuel was perfect. That was an interview that Elder Pidao did with Ras Israel Dyer from Doctrinics that play on what Dudley Radio. Don't play with I. Yeah, man in man elements now, because it's my father I defend him. You check it, ain't nothing else I talking about, my father. So we pull sword for our father, no sword in no sheet here, the sword out for our father. You check it, the man that pay the price, as Elder Zebi say. So hear this now, Priest Zebi, my Lord, give thanks and praises. So 63 now, back to 63. So in general, Rasta was crucified them time. In general, not Prince Emmanuel alone. In general, Rasta was crucified in 63 because Rasta in general represent the Christ. You check it. That's what Prince Emmanuel teaching. That the Christ in all of us is the out people that from the outside looking in does mix up the thing. And some of us inside looking out does mix up the thing too. Prince Emmanuel teach that Christ within I and I. Look, man, go and say, yeah, man, hail the Christ and the Christ up the hill with I and I. You know, come up, mommy, Christ up there. When they go up and say, boy, my Lord, I tell the man up here, you know. I tell mommy to come up here. Why? Because I tell them Christ up here. No, my Lord, you're supposed to show them Christ in them. And Christ in you. You ain't Christ too. That's what Prince Emmanuel teach. That's Prince Emmanuel teaching. Somebody else could tell you what he said. That they say so. They don't even know what he said. They don't even know what he said. Give thanks. So the Christ within. So Rastaman represented by the Christ. So Rastaman was crucified during that Holy Week there in 1963, around the same time, very close to the Holy Week vibes. Because although it lasts for what, 2-3 days, then this thing that spread out, you know. Yeah. Because in 58, it looked to me like a resurrection. Everybody thought he was dead. Even the officials that pronounced people dead thought he was dead. Even the chief historian thought he was dead. Even those who had a problem with him have to show some level of sympathy for the blows he got because they thought he was dead. But he sit up and live. So 63, crucifixion again. That's why we celebrate the resurrection. Nobody can tell us nothing about no the Roman Catholic fire. That's why we celebrate. When Good Friday come, we put on our whites and we celebrate the resurrection of Christ. King Emmanuel, Charles Edwards, for the prize. That's why we go through the 40 days and 40 nights of Lent too, fasting and praying, thinking of the sufferation of the Messiah. That's what the chalice is all about too. The burning, the tree of life is the sufferation, going into the water and coming out as a newly created being. All of this is the resurrection concept taking place here in the Chalice. I'm sure you've watched the Holy Grail, so you totally understand what I'm talking about, you know. So that is why at the Last Supper, he had not just the bread, which is the tree of life, the lamb's bread. It's not just the bread, it was the bread and the wine. And the wine is not the Guinness Stout nor the Heineken beer. The wine is the same water inside of the same chalice. Is the wine is in the chalice. And some people just put wine in the chalice. No, you create the wine. You create the wine when the bread is dipped in the wine. So they dip the bread in the wine and eat the bread with the wine. So you dip the bread by partaking of the lamb's bread. It's the lamb and the bread. I wonder if you follow me good. You dip the bread in the wine. When you pull it, the bread goes in the wine. Because you turn in the water, is water supposed to be in the chalice and not no liquor, water, fresh water. Anything you wouldn't drink, don't put it in the chalice. Don't go to the faucet and go put down a faucet and fill up your cup. No, if you're not going to drink it, don't put it in the chalice. Okay, that's God's water there. David preferred to give God his water than drink it. Yeah, we've done a thing on that already. Check it out on the YouTube channel, Libation in the Bible or something like that, or Rastafari and Libation. It's right there on our channel. They're there. We done do them already. This is not entertainment or what's new. Enough things there that will fill the heavens. I advise you go and check it. So yeah, so when you dip the bread in the water does turn to wine because the wine represents the blood, the blood of of Christ is the wine, and the tree here is the tree of life, which is the man. The tree of life is the same Christ, because Christ is the tree of life, but there's a tree that represents the man, which is the cannabis sativa, the tree of life. And remember, the chlorophyll in the tree of life is similar to the blood in the human being. So when the water turns green, it is chlorophyll water that is being created there. The water is turned into wine, because wine is the symbol of the blood. As I said, the holy grail we're talking about. So when you partake of the chalice, just like at the Last Supper, it was the chalice and the bread. He said, anytime you do it, make sure you do it in remembrance of me. And you see, like this discussion here, this reasoning here, Joseph X, what you're saying, my brethren? See, like this reasoning and this discussion here, them is chalice talk. You know, you do this in remembrance of it. Give thanks. Holy Emmanuel, Haile Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. 5 bleeding wounds. Wait, Chalice done already? Yeah, give thanks. I know it was a little spicy there, but when we celebrating our God and King, we ain't got the time to play no one. Hey, but definitely Monday, the 7th of June, put down the radio voice there now. That's the radio voice. That's the radio voice there. Hey, Sunday, not Sunday, Monday, the 7th of June, 2021, 7 p.m. sharp. We're talking about Heliopolis the Ancient, Anu the Modern, and this is another YouTube lecture presentation. It's not going to be a chalice talk. There's a totally different mentality as such, just to get this out. This is about another 2-hour presentation for you. This is going to be in depth. Of course, we're talking about this Monday, upcoming this Monday, as I said, Heliopolis and the Ancient, Anu and the Modern. And of course, we will be going into the whole aspect of the upcoming summer solstice, but we're going to be breaking down the heights as it relates to the importance of the summer solstice and why it is that you see a brother continually promote and speak about Mount Anu, also known as Green Castle Hill. So if you never understood it, if you haven't received the vibes yet, as why is he always talking about them megaliths? And why is he always talking about the hill in Antigua? Don't he know African is for the Africans and all of that extra stuff there? You definitely need to tune in to Heliopolis the Ancient and Anu the Modern. And that is a lecture right on YouTube. No connection. You don't have to contact me or nothing. You have to do, you just be present. What you should do, if you're not a subscriber, is to subscribe to the channel and put on the notification bell, all subscribers. And so you know when it comes on 7 o'clock, it will be there Monday evening. Bing! Oh yes, the lecture tonight. You gotta come prepared for this. It's almost like a chalice talk. Bring a chalice, of course. It's almost like a chalice talk. You're gonna need a meditation, and it's gonna take some time. It's gonna be wonderful, very in depth. As I said, if you were with us for the pyramids, Rastafari and the pyramids, it's, you know, that's where we're going. It's almost like a continuation of that. That's another thing, eh? It's a continuation of those lectures that we've been doing. So if you have not watched Rastafari and the pyramids, that's the name of the lecture. But on the YouTube, I think we titled it, is Haile Selassie related to the pyramid or something of the sort? What does Haile Selassie have to do with the pyramid? Something of the sort, but it's a 2.5-hour lecture. Yeah, you should check it out. We just put that up about 2-3 days ago. And of course, the mystery of the ark. And again, remember, if you missed the mystery of the ark and you're serious about the information, as I said, the mystery of the ark is still available. It is up to you. You could still get the pass to go to our webinar, online webinar platform, and you could watch it at your own time because it was live, but it's now recorded. We're talking about the mystery of the ark. So of course, just email us, preciser27@gmail.com, and you will definitely get your pass. Of course, your payments can be made using the Cash App as well, as it relates to that specific lecture. All right, give thanks continually for the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. So definitely the summer solstice is here. Give thanks for Sister Soldiers production, for the production of this flyer, specifically highlighting the summer solstice virtual experience, and it's a double hike, and the whole thing is taking place from the 17th to the 20th of June. Just a little mishap here with the dates, but it's the same thing really. It's the 17th that is the Chalice talk and the cannabis tour and lecture, and the 18th and the 20th is really the days of the hike, but it's all good. Wonderful, wonderful production here by Sister Soldiers, and of course that is the summer solstice, June 2021. Of course, you're going to continually hear more about this. But for sure, you got to keep in mind that although it says the full package is $100, and I would add just $100, or okay, it's all here too. I mean, this is so wonderful. You definitely can get your ticket for only $85. That's a double only if you purchase it before June the 7th. All right, and all the information here, you can contact us via email. You know the email address by now by heart. I wonder if you're dreaming about that email address sometime. And of course, you could WhatsApp Rastafari Experience Antigua, the area code and the number 268-714-1227, and that number specifically is for Rastafari Experience Business. Please understand that. That is Rastafari Experience Business. All right, and we have to understand that business-wise, man, we're looking forward for you to join us in the house for Minding Your Business. We have some wonderful interviews lined up, and some wonderful things in the business world that we are putting together that should benefit all of us. It's time for us to unite even on that level. I think we definitely slack on that. We like a lot of debate and what color is Jesus, and if Adam and Eve exist, and you know, we love that kind of stuff. We can sit on that all day long, and UFO and this land and who really belong here and all of that. But when it comes to the economics and even with our children, I don't think that we have that much interest even with our young ones. You know, these are two things I see we shy away from. Anything that have to do with the development of children, oh, we'll talk about that some other time. And anything with business, but some debate, or the Hebrew said, oh yeah, get him. But anyway, yeah, give thanks, man. Thanks for your presence with us. Give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life. Give thanks for the coming up of the Sabbath day. Give thanks, this has been another edition of Chalice Talk. Give thanks to the Honorable Prince Alamase. And give thanks to the Honorable Princess Akisha Menin, life giver and keeper of life, glorified breast Menin. Holy Emmanuel, Haile Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, Heart of Sabbath. Yes, Lord.